I got kicked out of kindergarten in first grade. So this
How
was
you get
way
kicked out?
after that.
Shit.
Don't judge
Wow.
me, okay? First of all, I grew up Muslim, but I went to a Christian school because my grandma is the one that babysat me. So, girl, don't confusion growing up, okay? We gonna call that my higher self back then.
Right.
Then I'm in the lower now, and I'm living good. But yeah, like no, that boy looked good. They had a beautiful home. They had a beautiful life. They dressed good. They ate good. That
Candy, can you tell us the age range precisely that you were around him?
um. Okay, let me see. I'm about to be 37. So I want to say these were like late teenage years. Okay, so whenever he got out of the mental hospital, I was already in prison. I went to prison when I was 18. So I'm gonna say like between nine, like maybe 9, 16. Like not a short period of time. This was like my childhood.
So how long was he in the mental hospital?
I don't know. I once heard his brother say out loud that it was like a year, but I want to promise that it was longer than that. I want to promise that it was longer than that. I want to promise that the only reason why he got out was because he got grown and they legally couldn't hold him anymore. But
Okay,
I'm a
Candy.
little wavy right now, but like it's like I told y'all, we went to the Power of Christ Gospel Academy. I have all my pictures and stuff from that school. I got my group pictures. I got all of that. It's nothing for me to pull it out. I'm not gonna do it right now because I'm a lady. Please forgive
No,
me.
because we can't see it right now. Miss Candy, so there's a
Okay.
question in the chat.
Mhm.
Is there a reason that you would have to speak against him or to try and throw salt on him?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm gonna tell y'all why on some real, you know what? On some straight up shit, I'm gonna tell you why. Period. I don't give a fuck what nobody says, like, oh, her intentions are not pure. I'm gonna tell you why. It's because I'm bitter. It's because I grew up with people that I feel like didn't care and didn't like love and honor me enough because they were so desperate for a grown ass man. That I was allowed to be hurt because they were so desperate for a grown ass man. So a part of the reason is like, no, I can't stand that nigga, but it's deeper than that. I feel for those women.
Excuse
You
me, excuse
understand? I feel for those women because I know how their children felt. I know how a child feels to have a grown ass woman excuse their behavior when their very behavior is the shit that fucked you over.
Okay,
So
so
if
Miss
people want to keep
Candy,
it for real, yeah, I have a motive. I want that nigga locked up because what he do is wrong. That
so
shit
Miss
is wrong.
Candy, is there a personal motive?
No, it's not a personal motive. We're not friends. We never dated. We don't have any kind of relationship.
Somebody's phone
I
needs to be
don't know that.
fixed.
I don't fuck
Somebody
with that
needs to
nigga.
wait, Candy. Somebody
No
needs to
personal
mute.
motive at all.
I can hear some feedback. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
I'm sorry.
Candy. Okay.
Yeah, but there's no personal motive at all. It's more of an internal thing, like me caring for these black women, me caring for my children because their children are the children that would be the children that would be the peers to my kids. But as far as personal, no, we don't have no personal ties. I never dated this man or nothing like that. Ain't nothing personal like that. I ain't never fuck with that nigga. He ain't never tried me, never would. It ain't nothing like that. So
Okay,
let's
Miss
let the
Candy.
people know
Now, my
that.
next question would be, um, does the family speak with you in reference to him on a personal note, or someone close to the family?
Yes. Now, someone very, very close to the family does speak to me on a personal note. And what I will say is earlier today, We had a conversation that was a little hyphy than the conversations we usually have. And they didn't say any of those exact words, but just being a woman of great knowledge and comprehension, I know that the fear was it coming back on them. And I say this because they feel like some of the things that they told me were things that only they would know. So they feel like I'm putting them in a compromising position when I really didn't even go in. You know, like sometimes I might get carried away and touched on some things and grab myself back.
So are they trying to shut you up?
I ain't gonna say shut me up. It's almost like, come on now, girl. Like, girl, he gonna get his regardless. You don't need us for that.
Because you already
You
stated
know?
that a lot of them aren't on social media, and so
No,
they are
I'm
not
not the older
aware of
ones.
everything that's
I got a
Oh
really
question.
no, no, no,
going on.
no. I didn't say they were not aware. They're very, very aware. They're just not actively on social media.
That's what I
But
mean
don't get
about
it
the
fucked
social
up.
media.
These
This,
people are
yeah.
aware. They know what's going on. They are very embarrassed. They're very hurt. They're very disrespected. When he speaks of the child abuse, I know that that is hurtful. I know that. Like they're very disgusted, but it's also at the same time, it's like my girl is coming from a place of, like I trust you with everything. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna put something out there, let it be you're doing it with me, or let it be because I told you so. And one thing I do know about myself, I'm passionate. You know what I mean? So sometimes I'll say some shit, but then I hold back because I don't want to offend other folks. But I do
Okay,
want to encourage her to speak out.
Miss Candy, do you know of his location?
I know he's in Puerto Rico. I know that. And the only reason why I know that because me and my mother called him the day after Christmas. My mom wanted to speak to him actually, and he brushed her off the phone because he said he was doing a photo shoot. But he told me personally that he was in Puerto Rico because he was waiting for his um, passport to come in the mail.
How
So
long
I
ago?
don't know if that's exactly where he is. I'm just telling you what I was told. You
How
understand?
long ago?
This was the day after Christmas. This was the day after Christmas. Yeah.
So the 2020, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
The 26th of this year. Well, no, last year. Last year, technically.
So they're
Yeah,
basically
this was
trying to sweep it
recently.
under the rug. Is that correct?
Right. Basically. Exactly. And I ain't gonna lie. So, like, I don't call him often, but if I do, he's like happy to talk to me because it's almost like a vibe like, look at her. She's my friend. Look at her. She's in Babylon. She's natural. She had locks for 12 years. You bitches can learn from her. Like he try to show off like that. And I try to like play along because I don't want to block me or whatever. So I called him whatever with my mother, and the whole energy was different. Like I hadn't spoken to him since. Like it was like he didn't want to show off any longer. He wanted to like he was like, bro, you're a commie with your fucking mom. Like, how dare you? You disrespectful in itself. With a fucking mother. You supposed to announce that before you do something like that. And I'm like, nigga, don't nobody announce what the fuck I'm gonna do. I've been taking care of myself before I was grown. And I was blocked. The nigga hung up on me and I was blocked. And that was the end of our conversation. And my mom was here as my witness. My little baby was riding her little hoverboard. We was all in the living room. And she was, and matter of fact, wasn't Day Day here too? My cousin Day Day was here because my Day Day never even heard of Nature Boy. So I was like showing him like how crazy the nigga was. So when I called him, he was just like so blown away. And this another thing, he tried to act like, well, I don't even know you. I talk to 1,000 people a day, but why is my number saved in your phone as Candy? That's my God-given name. My name is Candy Coven, 122,
So
86.
that means
That's
that
who
he's
I am.
held
I'm not
on
no
to his
troll.
numbers. That means he's held on to people
Right.
and
You
attachments
wasn't alive
and
when he said that,
places
right?
from before then. So that means that he's trying to make it hard for him to atone for what he's
Hmm.
done or things like that.
Right, or he's trying to paint the scene like he don't really know me and I might be like a troll or something. But weren't you on the live earlier? Why would my
Yes,
name
ma'am.
be saved in your phone as Candy if you don't know me? My name is Candy. I didn't change my name to Candace until I was 22 years old. But that's my God given name. Y'all can Google me right now. Candy Coleman. Y'all gonna see Long Branch, New Jersey, Willingboro, New Jersey pop up on that shit. Cause that's who I'm not a troll. I'm a real ass woman. Period.
Oh yeah, he gonna try
Okay.
to discredit you.
Okay. So here's a
You try to
statement,
why
Miss
my number
Candy.
saved in your phone if you don't know me, nigga? Oh, your number's only saved as Candy, but I talk to 1,000 people a day. Why my number saved at all, nigga, if you don't know me?
How many
Dirty
Miss
dumbass
Miss
nigga.
Candy. Here's a statement.
My name's spelled with a
He
K.
he knows you know all the tea, so he has to front.
no, wait a minute. Did the bishops raise just those children or did they raise multiple children?
Okay, so no. They had multiple before they adopted them kids. They always had foster kids. They
So
always had foster kids. But what I will say that it was so many kids that I couldn't tell you who was biological or who wasn't because it's a mixed group. You understand? And y'all know when mixed people have kids, like who the fuck are we to say? Especially if the baby yellow with nappy hair. You know, I mean, I ain't trying to be fucking goddamn stereotypical, but y'all know what I'm saying.
I get you because I'm dark and I'm medium and my
We
mother's
don't know.
light, so
And
I
then you
totally
got this.
understand you.
When the
right.
kids were acting up, when they were misbehaving in Bible study, they were thrown to the parking lot. So the parking lot time is when they got to mingle with the kids in the hood. But those motherfuckers were not allowed. They were not allowed to hang with us.
So it's more
You
like a
understand?
group home situation, like a group home.
I'm not going to say group home because that's too nicely. This was a church where you couldn't walk up in that bitch and have the pastor say, "Are there any new members that want to join this church?"
Was it a white church or a black church?
I would not say that. But I
Okay.
would say it was a church that you was not fucking going to if you was not invited.
What type of denomination was it?
I will not say. I'm gonna. I cannot. I cannot. I
Okay.
cannot. I
Where was
can.
the
I
church?
will say
Where
to
was
you
the church?
privately. I don't mind saying to any of you privately, but I'm
Okay.
just so drunk. I
Okay.
don't even trust myself. I don't want to say that.
You can inbox
Okay.
Mm-mm.
that world. You don't have
Okay.
to tell us.
Okay.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
you
I have
said,
pictures. Actually, I
anyone
have
that
pictures.
you feel
Actually,
comfortable
because
with
one
speaking with.
day, listen, one day, Mr. Bishop ran into my grandma Choo Choo's motherfucking Lincoln. He broke out my grandma's light. She flipped the fuck out. Flipped the fuck out. She said, "No, I have to call the police because I need them to make sure they take care of my light." Blah blah blah. They gave my grandma so much money. We went to Six Flags for 3 days that very same week, bitch. Six Flags in Jacksonville, New Jersey. Anybody from Jersey know about Six Flags? They were so petrified. Like, don't call the police. We'll take care of your car. Not only was Grandma Lincoln taken care of, but we went to Six Flags in Jacksonville, New Jersey 3 times that week. We went on
So,
Monday, we went on Thursday, and we went on Saturday. Like,
so
why
was
y'all
this
so
a cult
scared of the
like church?
police? They were weird. Hmm?
Was this a cult like church?
I will say it was a cult like church. And I will say this for my personal, not out of slander, not because I'm telling y'all what y'all are, but my personal experience. I will say that because the door was locked. You couldn't be a new member and join. You couldn't just walk in there and say, "I want to get saved." So for that reason alone, I will say cult like because it wasn't a welcoming place. They wasn't handing out no turkeys for Thanksgiving. They wasn't got him hanging out no gifts for fucking Christmas for the children. No. Y'all Christian folk But then the holidays are pagan. Like y'all weird. Y'all picking and choosing from every different religion based on what how y'all want it to benefit y'all. And that's the vibe that I got. Now I'm not saying
But
that from slander because that's what I know it is. That's the vibe that I got. Now I'm gonna tell you something. My mother, oh mama, I need to get G mommy on this bitch. Cause she could let y'all know something. You know them people differently than I do.
Are these the type of people that'll put raisins in a potato salad?
They them type of people. No, they them type of people. They them type of people that'll put some shit in the Kool-Aid because when you go to sleep, you need to be able to connect to everybody else from the church so we can have a
so this
powerful
is learned
movement.
behavior.
So we can have
Cause
a powerful movement that uprises us more than the other churches. So drink
this
this when
is
you
a
get
learned
home at
behavior
11
then.
p.m. at night. That with that kind of church.
You know, it's
Well,
something about mental illness and religion that goes hand in hand. I see. You ever
yeah.
notice how most crazy people can
Yeah, the
quote the
God
Bible from
complex.
front to the back and from the back to the front?
Mm-hmm.
And
Let
you
me tell you
said,
something.
Candy,
That
that
nigga
he had
Nature Boy, he know that
schizophrenia.
Bible. He
Backwards
know
and
that
forward.
Bible. Let me tell you something. The Power of Christ Gospel Academy. I remember 3 days a week being
Wow.
dedicated to
Y'all
the
heard
Bible
that.
and reading the Bible. Like I remember getting an award for reciting the whole Genesis. This is before I was even in first grade. That's not normal for a kid. That's fucking torture. Fuck are you talking about? Now, if somebody is genuinely insane and not right, they're gonna
Wait, wait,
go
wait,
off
wait,
the
wait, wait,
left.
wait, wait, Candy. Somebody gotta fix they phone. It's janked up. Let's get it together. Okay, Candy.
Girl, every single thing was done at the desk. We had studies at the desk. Lunchtime was at the desk. Recess was at the desk. Everything was reading the Bible. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Like me, I had a different kind of family unit where my family surrounding me knew my mom was some shit, so they fought for me. You understand? So that was different. But he was just subjected to that shit. Like that shit was sick. You got to sit and read the Bible for all. I had to recite the whole entire Genesis before I was even in first
Would you,
grade.
Candy, would you say it was about 20 kids in his household or about 10?
Less than, maybe
Less
less
than
than
10?
10. Hell
Okay,
yeah.
so
So
it was him,
anywhere
his
from
brother, and
5
maybe
to
what,
about
3 other
7.
kids?
Girl, it was less than 10 kids.
So about 5?
He might feel like it was more than 10 because they was in church every day. Like, girl, when I tell you church was life, they spent more time at church than they ever did at home.
So 5
I'd be
kids.
surprised that they even had bedrooms. They was at church so much.
Hmm.
I don't know. If somebody was fucking men been at church, like shit. How would we know? I don't know. But they, when
Okay.
I tell you them motherfuckers was in church, like it was irritating because my mom, like our house was, like I told y'all, it was a party house. If they threw a barbecue Friday, that should have lasted through Sunday. So they were an issue. Like I remember conflict. Like I remember them calling police, like certain. I remember that. I remember my people feeling like, why they even at church after 11 p.m. as a young ass little kid. So that's why I say it was church, like, because I don't know any church folk that is at church from 11 to 4 a.m., 11 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Well, you
They're
know
the
what,
only
Miss
folks.
Candy, I would say different because I came from a Christian. I come from a Christian background, and I remember the tent meetings and things of that nature, and a lot of different people coming from out of town and coming to your church and this, that, and the other. And I grew up in
But was that
Chicago.
once in a while or was it
No,
every day?
ma'am. This was, I would
It was every
say
day.
I would say it was not every day, but I would say at least about every 3 to 4 months, someone different coming to the church and
Right.
think, and wait a minute, let's do a PSA. We're not speaking against the church in any way, shape, or form
No.
because I have my
No,
own
absolutely not.
beliefs and things of that we all do. but we're
Right.
just speaking of backgrounds
I would
and where
never
we come.
disrespect my people.
We're
I'm
not being
sorry. I didn't want to cut you
disrespectful.
off.
No, no, ma'am, you're
I
good.
just wanted to put
So
that
we're
out
not
there.
being disrespectful in that regard. We're just speaking of background. So I come from a similar background as that. Um, from a Christian
Okay.
background, and I can recite Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers,
Oh
Deuteronomy,
my
Joshua,
goodness.
Judges,
Really?
all of that. Yes, ma'am.
Do
So,
you know
but
that I got an award when I was literally, what was I in, K4? I was either K4 or K5, which is kindergarten, for reciting the whole entire Genesis. So at the time, I probably didn't think nothing of it. But now in my adult years, I'm just like, how sick and torturous was that? Like, I lived in a whole cult ass town,
I
and
don't know.
there
I
was
can't
no
say it's
adult
true. I
that
don't
had
find it to
ever
be
Miss
protected
torture.
me.
Miss
And that's
Candy,
why
I
I
wouldn't.
hate them bitches. I hate them bitches. I hate the kids that's going through what them bitches are going through, because I know what it is. I have a stupid piece of shit ass mother. Bitch, do what you want, but why the fuck do I have to drag with you? For what?
Anybody got them receipts? World, you got
Bruh.
any?
Were you able to get her receipts that she sent to you,
Yes, world. Did you get the
King World?
receipts?
Were you able to get the receipts? Do we need to make sure she sends them again?
She probably checking it out. I see Miss Meat
Okay.
left. I hope you
Yeah.
feel better, Miss Meat. I don't know why
No,
I'm
listen,
so
the
Miss
receipts
Meat.
was juicy, so he probably going through them things.
It was multiple
Something else.
receipts.
Yes, ma'am. There was some receipts. I really want to get my girlfriend because she's someone that actually grew up in the household. So she could really break it down, but
Wow.
she
So it
doesn't.
was a
So
group
she
home.
doesn't. She doesn't have an Instagram. She doesn't have a Vigo. She does have a Facebook, but it's really private. She probably got like 140 friends, and she's had it for like 8 years. So she's just like so scared of him, and I'm just like, for what?
Lower,
You
lower,
are
lower, lower,
successful.
Able
You
lower
got
to
your shit
game.
going
a
on.
personal level with you and not with anyone else, and you convey the information out to the public. You know,
Right.
because this isn't something. Because I'm 47, and I ain't saying it because I'm young. But my kids are surprised when they see me on interacting on social media because I'm not a real big people's person, and so that
Wait,
really
how old are you? You said
I'm
47?
47. Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
My oldest son is
You
30.
look,
I just had
you
my
look
first
good.
grandbaby.
Okay. I
So
know
Congratulations.
you got a mask on in your picture, but you look
no,
good.
ma'am. I'm the other one. I'm Chanelly.
Shanelli.
Oh, this is
That's
not
me with the
this
mask
is
on.
melanated woman
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah,
No, this is Chanelly talking to you.
Oh,
Shanelli.
Shanelli. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes,
I love
ma'am.
y'all. Thank you for bearing with me. Y'all know I'm lit.
No, ma'am. Thank you for
Okay.
bearing with us. We here because of you,
Hey,
sweetie. So
Shanelli.
I promise you.
Shanelli.
So
I
it's
have
I
so much.
mean,
Seem like I ain't got to get up in 4 hours. I don't know why.
I
but
have so
hey,
much I want to share, but I want to be respectful to my people, but at the same time I almost want to shake them because it's like, are you more focused on being scared than saving these fucking dumb ass women?
Hey, can I ask you a question? Do the bishops still have children now in the household?
Yeah. Wait, you said
Do
do
they
they still
currently
have
have
children?
children in their
have
household?
foster children in their home.
You talking about the bishops?
Yes,
Correct.
ma'am.
Absolutely not. Nope. Nope. They have great grands. They see holidays, but no. They're not even doing foster children no more. They're not doing any of that.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a wrap. I think their heart was so broken when they heard about the sex allegations, because actually from what I
So
heard
their
that they
church is
spent time
still open.
they
I'm sorry to cut you off. Their church is still open, correct?
mm, I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know? Okay.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't say. See, now what I do know is that the church is still occupied. You know what I mean? Like it's not foreclosed. It ain't taken away. But to say, are they having church services on the regular? Like I couldn't personally say that.
How
But I
long
No,
has
know.
it been since
no,
you've
that
been
Jay,
in
you
question is,
snore
the
all
neighborhood?
loud on my
do they
video.
still have a congregation? That's the question. Do they still have an do they still occupy
Yeah,
a
see that.
congregation?
See, what I can say is I don't know if they still have a congregation, but I know that the church has not been sold.
Okay.
When is the last time you've been home to that neighborhood?
Actually, I go often. See, my oldest son, his father lives in Jersey, and Fifth Avenue is actually so. I lived on Sixth, and my oldest son's father lived on Fifth. It's very close. The church was also on Sixth Avenue, which was right across from me. So I visit all the time. I ride past. I take my son every holiday, every birthday, every few months. I go to Jersey at least 6 times a year. So the church is it's not abandoned. You know, the buildings aren't boarded up. But I cannot tell you exactly what they're doing because I don't live there. You understand? Like I live in North Carolina now, so I can't tell you exactly what they're doing. But the church
I
is still
understand that.
running. It's not boarded up. You know, like if I go there, if I go through to visit and it's a Sunday, it's it's the same cars in the motherfucking parking lot. But I can also tell you that it's not the type of church that you can go through and say, hey, I'm new to the neighborhood. I want to join your church. It's not that kind of church. That's what I can tell you.
Okay,
You're not
there's a
going in that
question.
motherfucker.
Miss Candy, there's a question, sweetie. What what was Candy saying about the bishops being broken after hearing the sex allegations? Can you expound upon that a little bit more?
Okay, so from what I understand, that when they heard about a Mr. Pope, is that allegedly the mom and the dad was looking for a Mr. Pope, which they said they never found, and they never found any real existence. It was said that they spent money to actually search for a Mr. Pope that has molested Alasia, which they never found. But in turn, they feel disrespected because the dirt came down on them. And the dad feels like people think he molested Eligio because there is no Mr. Pope. And this is a woman that's close to them. You know, like she eats with them. She spends holidays with them. She knows these people.
Well, we know they not. What's the name? But it, Lord, I'm sleepy. I'm about to get off soon. What's the name of the people that don't celebrate holidays?
Jehovah's Witness.
Muslims. Well, see, I grew up Muslim. I grew up Muslim. These folks were not Muslim. And the only reason why I went to a Christian school was because I had spent my younger years with my grandmother. So I do know for a fact that the bishops were not Muslim because they celebrated Christmas, Easter, all that shit. They was at church for every holiday. Now the shit that I seen them at church for was shit that we didn't celebrate. And
What
that's how I know
neighborhood
that we were not the same
you
Would you say
religion.
Baptist? They were Baptist. Would you say that?
I, I can't say what they were. All I know is that when I
Okay, I
first
get
met
that. I
him, we were
understand
going
that.
to a school that was called the Power of Christ the Power of Christ Gospel Academy. That was on Rockwell Avenue in Long Branch, New Jersey. That's the only thing I can tell you. I don't know what them fuck them people were. But I can tell you that that's the school that I started out from. So when I got a little older and my grandmother died, I went to live with my birth mom. And that's when like I start living that Muslim life. So that's how I know that they were celebrating Christmases, Easter, New Year's, every holiday because, you know, it was foreign to me. So of course I'm going when them holidays come up and it's a gathering, I'm gonna notice it. You know, like when I'm a kid and I don't celebrate that shit. So that I can't tell you. Like I don't exactly know if they were Baptist, Christian, I don't know what. But when I met him, we were in a school called the Power of Christ Gospel Academy, and that was a Christian school. And we wore uniforms that were they were blue and white, and they were checkered. The girls wore dresses, and the boys wore slacks with white shirts with little pins on it that said Power of Christ.
All right, fam.
Did you ever?
I'm about to go to bed. I got to take my child to school in the morning.
Okay, Safe Velvet.
Y'all,
We
but I'm
appreciate you.
tired.
Love your husband, kisses, sweetie.
And y'all know I never tap out, but I'm tired. I love y'all and
Okay,
y'all have
you
Me too. I'm
have
sad
an
too.
awesome
I,
sauce
I live
night,
for a little
sweetie. Thank
longer,
you.
but I'm gonna get off the panel.
Yeah,
Okay,
off the panel
thank you.
too, guys. I love.
Thank you,
Have a good
sweetie.
night.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send World some receipts and then get us like a more organized thing going on because I wasn't prepared for this. But
Yeah, Miss
yeah, we're gonna
Candy,
get it
we
popping.
appreciate it so much because
We're gonna get it popping.
you've been a wealth of knowledge. Um,
I
maybe a
appreciate
couple of more
y'all too.
questions. Did okay? So, would you say okay? Was there any conversation in reference to Eligio's parents? Much,
His biological parents or his adoptive parents? Are you talking about his biological or adoptive? Because one thing about Eligio is he don't have parents. The only thing ever speaks about is his birth parents, the crack mother who gave birth to him, and the so-called 70-year-old merchant that had him. But he doesn't know who his dad is for real. He just knows that he was a crack baby to a crack
hmm
mom. She was like a number one informant in the city, and she was hated, and she was killed. He doesn't know who his dad is or any of that. So what I do know is when he speak of his parents, he's not talking about the bishops ever. He doesn't even address them. It's almost like he was never adopted. The only thing you ever hear him talk about is like maybe a crack mom, his dad that had him at 70, and the fact that he was in foster care. But he never
no,
speaks about the time when he was an adopted. Why?
we
Because his
did, we
life
did
was
hear
great.
of, we did hear of both, but it was very limited information on both parts,
Yeah.
in reference to the biological and the foster. So, it's like, what happened in between there? What was the
Right.
in-home life like? What was the day-to-day like? What was your
Right.
interaction like with your mother, your
Right.
foster mother or your foster father? What
And I think
what
what it is for
happened?
him is that he was adopted so young, right? So if he tells the truth about when the bishops took him in and when his life changed, the authenticity of his hood nigga shit, his foster care, been through this struggle shit will be obsolete because he was adopted at a very young age. So then it'll make him look like a fucking fraud. So he can't keep it real about his adopted family. He gotta make it seem like foster care was my struggle and New York is my hood. But that's not it at all. If he keep it
Okay,
real about his real life, people will know what's up because they'll put the years together.
okay,
So that's
Candy.
why he ain't
So,
gonna talk about the bishops. He gonna talk about his birth mom, his birth dad, as so called, had him at 70. Some fucking Indian merchant or some shit. That's a fucking lie. He don't know who his dad is, and neither did his mother.
Candy, was mom, biological mother and father deceased at the time you knew him, or
Yes,
were
yes, yes,
was
yes. His mom was dead. Now his dad, nobody knows about his dad. We don't even think the mother knows who the fuck the dad is. So that's that right there. You can cancel that. The father, he don't know. They don't know. Don't nobody motherfucking know. And you can clearly see that him and Leo do not have the same father. I don't give a fuck. Just like you can
Correct.
see that
Correct.
Ellie is Omax and the baby Ja is motherfucking Eligio's. Like you can see that. So he
Right.
don't know who his dad is, but his mother, yes. His mom was a crackhead. Yes, she is dead. He was a crack baby. She ran out the hospital right after she had him. She never breastfed him. He don't know his mother. His mother never hugged, kissed, or loved on him ever. She popped him out that pussy and dipped. He went right into foster care. Shortly after, he was adopted. He didn't grow up on them street like on them New York streets thugging, getting it in, or none of that shit. He didn't grow up doing none of that.
So now the brother, isn't he supposed to be younger than Eligio, correct?
Yes, the brother is supposed to be younger, which was weird because
So is mom
honestly,
and dad the
when
same mother
we
and father?
well, no, they don't know. They don't know about the father. They just know it's the same mother. They have no idea who their father is. But I
So
understand
if
it makes
Eligio,
them feel good to say they do, but they don't.
so if his mother passed after having him, how could there be a younger sibling after him
She
from the
didn't
mother?
pass. I mean, she didn't pass right after that. She didn't have about 18. What did she have? 14, 12, 14, 16
Oh
kids. She didn't have
wow,
a bunch of fucking kids.
never heard
It's not
that.
like she died giving birth. It wasn't that type of thing. She was just a crackhead out there having a bunch of kids. That's what it was. They know that Leo and Eligio are related because now they were in the same agency. You know how the agency is as far as like,
I,
like they'll test children
I
and
follow you.
shit
I
like
understand.
that. Yeah, they know. Like, especially when a woman done had 6 kids already that's in the system, they know who kids come from who. So that's the kind of thing that Eligio, they don't, you can look at them and see they don't have the same father.
Correct. Yeah.
None of them probably have the same father. Be for real. But that mental illness was passed down from their mom and the motherfucking baby shakes they had after being born crack babies.
Correct.
That's what I
And
believe.
and I totally understand that because I have a cousin that was adopted at, let me see, I think at 1 month, and right now to date he's 30 years old. I have a son and him are exactly a month apart, and they're 30, and they've always grown up as cousins. And but
Okay.
he's always been a lot more off kiltered than anyone else, and he was born addicted
Right.
to crack. But
Right. And see, in that instant, it makes sense. I mean, it makes sense, especially if you got
it does.
somebody that's wanting to help themselves. Because even like Nature Boy brother Leo, he got into some trouble. Like, let me tell you, that motherfucker one time was thugging, thugging. He was crazy. But even like when you talk to him now, he understands like that his mind is distorted and he has to work on himself. And he's trying. He's a good man to his woman. Like, he's a great man. Like, he's a great father. Like, he's just a good guy. You can see him trying. And that's why I say for Eligio, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. I had it way worse than that man. I grew up in foster care. I graduated from foster care. I never had nobody adopt me and love on me. So why I'm not out here being evil? There's no excuse. I'm out here taking care of my goddamn mama. The same mama that goddamn gave me all the goddamn hurt I got today. So there's no excuse for that shit that he's doing. How many people we know grew up in foster care and never been adopted?
Yes,
Ever.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hey,
You know, there's a lot of. Go ahead.
I gotta welcome you over to the spot, man. And I'm gonna hit you with the number in the inbox, Jim Jank, man. Cause hey, look at here. You definitely getting it up right now, man. But we done been up in here now. It's going on 5.
I gotta go to
It's on
bed. My boat
3 just
snoring. I gotta wake
Wow.
him up with some love in the sun. Y'all finna get me in trouble. I ain't fucking with the family tonight. Fucking with the family.
Yo, nah, you rocking with us tomorrow. You
Young
rocking with us,
Candy,
gang.
we
Tight up
thank
in
you
the
so
inbox.
much.
You coming through?
Thank you
No,
so
my
much,
boy, he
Young
hate
Candy.
Nature Boy too, cause he from the same hood, so he grew up with him too. So he hate that nigga. So he don't be too mad, but I know he like, boom, get
Young
to
The
Candy
bed.
sun god. I ain't even
from
hollering
the
sun goddess, yo. Oh man. So what we doing? We back over here tomorrow? What we gonna do?
Let's do it. Let's do it. I don't know, cause my boom been mad. So the other day I hopped on TKO and I had made up this whole story about my nigga wanting us a sister wife, and he been so mad ever since. So tonight I was trying to tell him like these are good people, babe. I'm not trolling, but he don't understand because he's not on social media. So we're gonna have to do this here tomorrow. I can let my boom know like these the good
So are you
folks.
saying you're interested in a sister wife? Is that what you're saying?
No, I wasn't. I was just trolling. Like I was trying to get in close so I could pick their mind and see what was going on or whatever. But hell no, I'm not into that shit, and my dude already know.
I
Nope.
want y'all to give y'all final statement. I want y'all to close out.
Young
Yeah.
Candy, this is Nellyville, and I appreciate you so much for coming on the King World platform on Bigo, and we invite you to Instagram and to YouTube, same name, and we appreciate you so much for talking and sharing your life things as far as what's going on, and you always have an open spot here where we are, and we thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you. I never thought that this would be therapeutic for me, but I appreciate y'all
This
more than you would
is,
ever
sweetie,
know.
this can be therapy. This can be
No,
therapy. You know, it doesn't always
was
have to be
it?
on the couch. It
This
doesn't
was
have to always
therapy.
be with someone standing in front of you. Therapy
I'm
is a mind cleansing, and
absolutely.
you
I
know,
might finish the
we
last chapters of my book fucking with y'all. Like
a
I
safe place.
appreciate y'all.
Hey, world can be in another thing because world been in one book and one song. So, hey, he can be in a second book, and we
Yes,
appreciate
I'm
him
definitely
coming.
throwing world in my book. And all
Yeah,
the sisters.
I think world is awesome sauce for real.
Yeah, absolutely. I do
We
too.
thank
I
you.
appreciate y'all.
I ain't
Because at the
shit. I'm
end
in
of the
my
day,
lower
it's
self.
nothing.
You ain't
It's
shit, but
nothing
we
for us.
love you still,
I'm in my
world.
lower
It's
self.
fine. It's nothing for us to say fuck them people because we already living good. You know, it's a lot of people that can say we trolling, but the real, like I said, real recognize real always. The real knows that this is deeper than that.
Yes,
Understand?
there's a greater good going on here. And this is about
Absolutely.
a bigger thing. It's not about us and our life experiences. It's about what we don't want to see happen in our existence, in our future, for our
Right.
children, and anyone else. And so
Right.
you are expounding upon that, and we appreciate you so much for feeling free to um, open up your heart here. So thank
Yeah, I
you.
appreciate you all. I appreciate y'all. I'm rocking with y'all. Word up. World
Please
news in the
subscribe
truth.
and like
I'm rocking
everywhere
with
else you
y'all.
see this name posted. World is an amazing gentleman, and we thank you so much. And just please subscribe. And like we said, if you want to go somewhere else, go to one of the women and speak. We can convey the information back to world, but I don't think I'm speaking out of time when I say that. I've
Yeah.
said that all night.
Yeah.
And so, if you want to feel more at home and speaking with a woman in reference to these things, we'll make it feasible for you. There were 8
Right.
women up here tonight that you can have that opportunity with.
I appreciate that because there's a lot of things that I've wanted to share, not just me, that other people wanted to share, but just didn't really know how to like go about it, you know? So,
Young Candy, can you type your Instagram handle on in the chat?
yes, ma'am. It's
And
actually Yum Candy. It's the same.
it's Young
I'm Yum
Candy.
Candy everywhere. I'm Candy Coven on Facebook. That's my government, right? Candy
I don't
Coven.
do I don't do
I ain't
Facebook
shame.
too
I tell
much.
everybody. That's my Instagram. That's my Twitter. Candy Colvin. That's my name. So I ain't running from nobody. I did my time. Look, I ain't on no papers. I'm good. So yes, I did type it in the comments though. Yes, I will definitely keep in touch. I appreciate all of you very much.
Shout out to everybody that came through. Shout out to everybody that was rocking with the chat. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the build. If you did, make sure that you tune in to the YouTube Jim Jank with the Jim Jank. Okay. Shout out to the panelists. Shout out to everybody that came through. Candy, you already know what it is. We appreciate that. For the people that did, get some of this video recorded, make sure you share it on the social media platforms, all right? We'll be back in the building tomorrow. Nelly, good look with the good look. Miss Meat, everybody that came through. Jana, yo, oh my goodness.